December 9th, 1994, according to an article by the Wall Street Journal dated November 26, 2001, prosecutors in Landmark's bombing trial wanted to speak with Ali Mohammed. FBI agents working through an intermediary tracked him to an al-Qaeda safe house in Nairobi. Mohammed would later testify in open court that in late 1994 he received a call from an FBI agent who wanted to speak with him about the upcoming trial of Omar Abdul Rahman, the blind sheikh. I flew back to the United States, spoke to the FBI, but didn't disclose everything that I knew. FBI agent Harlan Bell conducts the interview in the presence of Assistant U.S. Attorney Andrew McCarthy, prosecutor for the upcoming trial. Mohammed tells him that he is working in Kenya in the scuba diving business, where in fact he is helping the al-Qaeda cell there. He also says that he went to Pakistan in 1991 to help bin Laden move from Afghanistan to Sudan. Despite admitting this tie to bin Laden, there are no apparent repercussions for Ali Mohammed, aside from his name appearing on the trial's unindicted conspiratorial list. He would not appear at the trial, and it has been alleged that McCarthy told Mohammed to ignore a subpoena and not testify. Mohammed would later recall that after the interview, I reported on my meeting with the FBI to al-Qaeda leader Mohamed Atef and was told not to return to Nairobi. However, much later, according to an article by the United States federal government on the Washington file staff, Ali Mohammed didn't go to trial. However, Ali Mohammed would later testify after the 9/11 attacks that in 1991 that he did transport bin Laden from Afghanistan to the Sudan. And Mohammed also added what he didn't add before, that Abu Ubaidah al-Banshiri was in charge of the Nairobi cell until he drowned in a ferry accident in Lake Victoria. Khalid al-Fawaz set up the office and a car business was opened to create income for the cell. Wadih el-Hage created a charity organization to help provide al-Qaeda members with identity documents, and also added that al-Fawaz paid for his surveillance experiences and photo enlarging equipment when scouting possible bomb targets for al-Qaeda. He also said, I personally helped Wadih el-Hage by making labels in his home in Nairobi. I personally met Abu Ubaidah al-Banshiri and Mohamed Atef, also known as Abu Hafs al-Masri, at Wadih el-Hage's house in Nairobi. We used various code names to conceal our identities. I used the name Jeff. el-Hage used the name Norman. Wadih el-Hage, Khalid al-Fawaz used the name Nawawi. After having been asked by bin Laden to conduct surveillance of American, British, French, and Israeli targets in Nairobi, Mohammed further reiterated that he looked at potential targets: the American Embassy in Nairobi, the U.S. Agency for International Development building in Nairobi, the U.S. Agricultural Office in Nairobi, the French Cultural Center, and the French Embassy in Nairobi. These targets were selected to retaliate against the United States for its involvement in Somalia. I took pictures, drew diagrams, and wrote a report. I later went to Khartoum, where my surveillance files and photographs were viewed by bin Laden, Abu Hafs, Abu Ubaidah, and others. Bin Laden looked at the picture of the American Embassy and pointed to where a truck could go as a suicide bomber. In 1994, bin Laden also sent Ali Mohammed to Djibouti to do surveillance on several facilities, including French military bases and the American Embassy, Ali Mohammed would tell the courts. To this day, Ali Mohammed is still in witness protection program and told also investigators from New York, Washington, D.C., and Chicago that he himself also trained al-Qaeda operatives on how to hijack a plane.